I'm quite keen because I know there are an awful lot of great webinars and conversations going on in the world today to make sure that at the very least we get through all of this within the hour, and to fulfill my promise that last week was going to be the longest we'd ever do. A lot to cover. Again, feel free to ask questions if I'm going too fast. Economic snapshot as of today, Friday the 27th of March. In a future point, once we move past the respond phase of the economic cycle into the next phase, we're going to go into this in a little bit more detail to give us some guidance. For now, I've highlighted not just the key numbers, all of these are the key numbers that I'm watching right now, but I've highlighted the changes that I think are particularly important for us to be mindful of. Coronavirus, the acceleration, the US, Australia, the number of cases are accelerating this week compared to last week. In the UK, they were slower growth, globally slower growth overall. I think that's a really important indicator for us economically, which is the focus of these, not to downplay the health crisis, just to play to my strengths. The slowing of new cases is going to be a critical factor in a lot of these other economic measurements. My normal life, I don't really keep an eye on the stock markets. They are very useful indicators in these kind of times. However, all those three major ones, the FTSE in the UK, the Dow Jones in the US, the ASX 200 in Australia, are all up this week. It has been quite a good week. I've seen some people talking about the fact that they're up 20% from their low, and that means we're back into a bear market. Linked to the fact that coronavirus cases are still accelerating, I think that might be overly optimistic. I think there is more to go there. Every recession is different, however, and so hopefully I'm surprised. The lower two, unemployment, GDP growth, they're really lag indicators, but they're giving us an idea of how deep the recession is getting and how long it is going to last. No changes from last week. These are numbers that come out monthly in the case of unemployment, quarterly in the case of GDP growth. Some preliminary estimates around unemployment. In Australia, where I'm living at the moment, just based on businesses that have been shut down in the last couple of weeks, the expectation is that 5.1% unemployment is probably going to jump to 7.5% at least for the month of March. In the US, where they've been at record low unemployment of 3.5%. There are estimates anywhere between that going to 5.9%, which would be a similar jump to Australia, all the way up to potentially being 8.4% unemployment. And that's just at the end of March. And as I say, I don't think we're at the bottom of this. So those numbers are not right now telling us things, but they will certainly very soon start to show us how severe, or perhaps not, the situation might be.